Good afternoon. My name is Pam Carswell. I'm the teen librarian here at Minot Public Library, and I'll be guiding you through the 3D soap dish program today. I'm so excited to get started. All right, so to begin with, I am here at Tinkercad.com. I am signed into my own account. You can make your own free Tinkercad account. It's kind of like a webmail account, and it will save all of your Tinkercad designs for you for free. If you have a web connection, you have Tinkercad. There's no fancy software that you need to download to your computer or crazy upgrades or anything like that. So feel free to make yourself an account so that you can do this along with me. Love to have you. All right, so let's get started. First thing we need to do is go down here to the shape generator and go to featured shapes. So this is going to give us maybe some shapes that you guys may or may not have seen before. We're going to go to number 2 and grab ourselves an adjustable box. So this is going to be the biggest basis of our soap dish. So I'm just going to click this little arrow here so that we can see a little bit more of this timeline. So a basic soap bar is about 80 inches, but the sides here take up some space, and we need to have a little bit of space to get our fingers in to get that slippery bar of soap. So I'm going to suggest that we go with something along the lines of 115 millimeters here, and a bar of soap is about 50 millimeters across here. So let's go with something like 70, about 70 millimeters across there. Okay, so there we have a very nice bar. Now most bars of soap are about 25 millimeters tall. So we're going to bring this up just a little bit. Of course, it's not going to hurt anything for our bar of soap to be a little taller than the soap dish. That's perfectly all right. So, all right, there we have the basis of our soap dish. But this flat bottom is going to cause problems, isn't it? Because our soap can't dry between uses. Well, that's not such a great thing. All right, well, let's get some drainage, huh? So we're going to come down over here to the Voronoi shape, which is just this crazy block. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit here so you can see what it looks like. And then we're going to play around with it. So I'm going to randomize it a little bit more. Feel free to play around with this as much as you like. I'm going to add more cells. I'm going to maybe play around a little bit with the spacing. So if there's a little bit more space, there's a little bit more room to drain. Okay, so now we've got this spaced out a little bit. See how that would allow for some drainage on soap? Okay, so I'm going to check my dimensions again here. 115, huh? And 70. So why don't we go over here and let's change this to, let's say, 113. There we go. And then let's change this dimension to, oh, I don't know, maybe 68. Oh, I tried to make that whole. Let's not make that a whole. Let's keep that solid. Let's get this over here to, well, let's try 68. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to scoot out just a little bit. Okay, I think that's a little easier to see, isn't it? Okay, so now I'm going to just slide this in. Oh, but if I do that, it's going to be kind of hidden, isn't it? All right, So I am going to go over here to home. I'm going to pick this up using this cone by 2 millimeters. See how that comes off? I'm going to pull this over to the front. See how this orange is up off the build plate by just a tiny little bit? That is going to give us just a little bit more room. All right, now when I slip this over here, this is the top layer on the floor of our box, which is what we want. All right, so to make sure that I get this lined up just the way I want, I'm going to draw a little box around. See how I did that? See, I just take the cursor and I just draw a box. And then this is highlighted together. I'm coming over here to the Align tool, and I'm going to click on this middle dot and see how things shifted a little bit. And then I'm going to click on this little middle dot, and that's going to shift things around too. So now I have things centered, and that's what I want. I want things centered up so that we have things perfectly aligned. Now that I know that they're perfectly aligned, I'm going to draw another box around them to highlight both of these, and then I'm going to group them together. So when I have everything one color, then I'll know that they are grouped, and the computer will treat them as one connected shape. That's what I'm after, that one connected piece. Once that's done, I'm going to add some lettering to my soap dish. All right, so now we have one full piece. Great. Now, to make it easier, I'm going to turn this color, let's turn it green maybe. Sometimes when it's a brighter color like this, it's a little easier to do the work that I'm about to show you. We're going to go back up here to Basic Shapes, and I'm going to scroll down here to Text. Now, some of you know that I am a huge Harry Potter fan. It's just like my favorite thing ever. So I'm going to make this soap dish frog spawn soap. So I'm going to write the words frog spawn. Oops, spawn, not swap. Most of the right letters and all the wrong places. All right, here we go. I don't particularly like that multi-language font, so I'm going to change it over here to Sans, I think. There we are. Very nice. Okay, so I put that up there. I've got to make this smaller. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so now that I have this smaller shape, yeah, I think that will work nicely. I need to turn it into a hole because I would like to engrave what I have to say under the soap dish rather than have it sticking out. The engraved shapes with text seem to look better over time, and you don't have to worry about little nicks in your lettering. All right, so now I'm going to go over here to the side. I find it's just a lot easier to find these side arrows. See this little side arrow here? I'm going to type in 90. And I'm going to just pop that lettering up 90 degrees. Now I'm going to use that cone and I'm going to raise it up. And then I'm going to move my, oops, I've got it too high, haven't I? All right. So I'm going to come back down here to the front. Okay, drop, oops, undo that one. Okay, got to come back over here to frog spawn. Up. I just keep picking up the soap dish, not the lettering. There I go, there's the lettering. Okay, so there's my frog spawn letters. I know I finally got the letters because they are highlighted in all that lovely blue. Okay, so now that I've got those, I'm going to pull that soap dish in towards them to get the engraving on just where I want it. Okay, so I think that's about where I want it deep. Okay, I am going to highlight again there, and then I'm going to use that Align tool again so that I get it even. I'm going to come back over here to the front. Yes. Oh, you know, maybe that could go just up a little bit. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now that we have that, I'm going to click on that frog spawn and I'm going to duplicate it. I bet some of you are wondering, why is she duplicating this? This doesn't make sense. Well, I'd like to use the word soap under the word frog spawn. And since I've already got it turned the direction I want and in the font I want and everything, sometimes it's just easier to duplicate and then change the word than to repeat all the other work that we did to get it where we want it. All right, so now I've brought that down a little bit. I'm going to go back up here to our home view, and then I'm just going to run our soap word down here. I'm going to come back over here to the front view. Okay, and then I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to align. Okay, I'm going to try grouping this and we'll see how it looks. You know, I'm not real happy with that. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to say undo. You know, I think we just need to take this up a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to take frog spawn up a little bit. Yeah, sometimes that undo button is the very best thing Tinkercad ever had. Okay, so then soap can come down just a tad. Oh, that looks much better, doesn't it? Okay, so again, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to align. Oh, yep, everything is still lined up. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to group it. Ah, yes, much better. Frog spawn soap, just the way I wanted it to look. Okay, so now that I have it looking the way I want, or I think I have it looking the way I want, I'm going to have a good look at my design. I'm going to look at it from all the angles, making sure that everything looks good. Now, of course, we know that we're going to call this frog spawn soap, and look at that, the inside of this box. Doesn't that drainage just remind you of frog skin? Isn't that fun? All right, so far so good. I think we're looking good. Okay, so the next thing to do is to name this something like, oh, I don't know, frog spawn soap dish. There we go. Now, I've got my design all ready. If I wanted to send this to myself for printing, I would come over here to export, and I'd probably click STL, that's industry standard, and I would save it here to my computer. Then, if I wanted to send it to somebody, I would email it as an attachment. So if any of you want to send me your STL design, that's what you'll do. And you'll send it to my email address, Pam, Pam.Carswell, that's CARSWELL, at mynotnd.org. The address and a picture of our frog spawn soap design will be in the comments of this video. I can't wait to see what your soap dishes look like, and I'll be happy to print them for you at no charge. You can pick them up here at Mina Public Library. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see what crazy fun designs that you make to help yourself and your family stay safe. Have a great time designing. All right, that's it for today. Bye-bye.